Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to the first of the Australia vlogs. We've got a lot to catch up on. For anyone who's new to my channel, I'm actually a full-time wildlife artist and art tutor specialising in realistic coloured pencil drawings of animals, and I've recently moved to Australia. But first, let me catch you up with what I've been up to over the past month. Starting off with the David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation Charity Ball, which I'd never been to before. I actually got invited this year and I donated one of my artworks, which was a graphite drawing of a zebra. This took place at the Dorchester in London. I got to catch up with loads of different artists. We got a vegan 3-course meal, which was actually really nice. Lots of money was raised for conservation through the live bid that went on throughout the night, and then we finished off with a little bit of dancing. Just a few days later, I had my live online workshop of a barn owl in colour pencil, so thank you so much if you joined that. Here's just a handful of the beautiful drawings that people shared with me after the workshop. I managed to finally finish my macaw for Patreon, so the full 8-part tutorial is now available on Patreon from start to finish, all with coloured pencils, and yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite tutorials that I've ever filmed. And here's some of the incredible artwork from my patrons. We then spent the last few days in Manchester with my cousin Stu and his wife Paula. We went for food and I definitely won't miss this rainy Manchester weather at all.
No.
Considering me and Conrad weren't cat people at all, like we both have a dog, we became obsessed with Seagull. Like we formed such a little bond with her. She's basically a dog anyway. We watched the new David Attenborough documentary and Seagull was obsessed with the leopards. Like, how funny is that? So saying bye to her was really sad. So this is back at home with Bella, and this was all my stuff to unpack from Manchester, and you literally cannot even see the floor. I had a very early Christmas night at my best friend Emma's house. We had some picky bits from M&S, watched Love Actually, and opened each other's presents, which is my idea of an ideal night, really. The next day I met up with my other friend Megan, and honestly I feel like I've never had such a social week in all my life. Then it was finally time to unpack because I still had a few days of work to do before the big move, unpacking all my art stuff, setting up my printer again, just getting things in order so I actually had somewhat of an organised space to work in. The following night I met up with some artist friends and we did a life drawing class in Manchester. I've not done life drawing of figures for literally years. The woman who organised it was called Life Drawing with Hop on Instagram. She does them everywhere and it was really fun, so I highly recommend. Came back to Bella hiding and finding a ball under a settle mat. She always does this and she's really cute. We obviously had to celebrate Christmas Day early this year as I was going away, so we put up the tree, went for a cosy pub lunch and opened presents, and I got this spider insect catcher from my mum and dad to bring with me to Australia, which is actually, I think, the most important / essential thing that I've actually packed in my case. That evening I packaged up some artwork to be sent off, and then it was time to pack. So this took so long. I basically put my art and filming stuff in one case and all my clothes in another. And then it was time for the big move across the other side of the world to Australia.
What should I say?
We're off to Australia.
We're off to Australia.
I'm so tired. First flight, 7 hours.
It's huge. We're just boarding the flight. Just carry that. Struggling.
So tired. I can't wait to go to sleep.
squinting already.
Cheers. Our first coffee. They've arrived. We're going to view our first apartment whilst we're here in Melbourne, hopefully for 3 to 6 months, but we're going to see what they say. We went to see Conrad's friend's apartment the other day, so we've got that to kind of judge it off and compare the two. So yeah, wish us luck. The windows in the bedrooms aren't that big, so I don't know if it's going to be bright enough. To be fair, that's not... Have we looked at this building?
I don't think this is the first time. Oh no, okay. I've just realised which one you're showing me. No. Usually it's better.
Yeah, it's booked tomorrow at 1:30. So we've been in Melbourne now for, I think, this is our 5th full day. And to be honest, we've not really seen much of it because we've been waiting for our cases that ended up being stranded in Abu Dhabi on the way over here. We've been catching up on work because I've had literally the most social week of my whole life before we came out here. We've been catching up on sleep because the jet lag is no joke. It was a 7-hour flight from Manchester to Abu Dhabi. We were supposed to have an hour and 15-minute layover, and our first flight was delayed.
We just ran the entire Abu Dhabi airport to get to this gate.
You can taste blood. We were literally sprinting through the whole of Abu Dhabi airport to try and get this next flight, which was 13 hours 40 minutes, but it ended up being about 12 hours in the end. It was a bit shorter, but luckily we did manage to sleep on the flight a little bit, so I feel like the jet lag could have been a lot worse, and I feel like now we've adjusted a little bit. So I thought I'd just share some of the clips over the past month because I've not actually done a vlog this month yet. I've been putting on my stories and stuff how I'm coming to Australia and now I'm finally here. So I thought I'd just answer some of the questions that I've been getting because I did put it on my story and everyone's like, why are you going to Australia? Like, how long are you going for? Where are you going? Are you taking your art stuff? So I thought this vlog would be a good opportunity to answer some of these questions. So why have I come to Australia? We've both always wanted to come here. I've actually got 2 friends out here at the minute, which makes the move a little bit less scary because I feel like we know people that are here. Like one of my best friends literally moved to Melbourne 2 weeks before me. So I've not met up with her yet, but I think we're meeting up this evening now that I've finally recovered from the jet lag. I just really want to see all the wildlife in Australia, all the beaches. We've literally got so many things that we want to do while we're here. But yeah, we just thought, why not? Like, we've not got a house, we're both working for ourselves, so it's like the perfect time to do it really. So one of the main questions I've been getting is, where am I staying? How long am I staying for? And what am I planning to do whilst I'm here in terms of travelling? What am I going to go and see? So we're currently in Melbourne. As you've probably seen, we've been constantly looking for apartments. I think we've got about 5 viewings tomorrow. We've got 1 this afternoon and we had about 3 yesterday. So fingers crossed we can get an apartment for 6 months, and then we're going to try and go to Brisbane and basically do the same thing. Stay there for the second half of the year. Just because I feel like Australia is that big, if you stay in one place the whole entire time, you're kind of missing out on seeing everything else. So we're kind of travelling around but still running our businesses at the same time. We've booked Sydney over the New Year period, which I'm super excited for. I feel like that's going to be somewhere we're both going to really enjoy, and there's loads of places to visit there, like Bondi Beach. I think there's a zoo there that you can get like a cable car over. It's just massive. Like, you don't realise how big Australia is. Like, it's huge. On the map it literally looks like Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane aren't that far away from each other, but you have to get like internal flights everywhere because it's so big. But there's so many places that we want to travel to, like Sydney's one that we've already booked, Brisbane's another, like all up the east coast. We'd love to do the Great Ocean Road. I really want to go to Steve Irwin Zoo and hold a kangaroo. There's a few wildlife sanctuaries around Melbourne actually, which I think we're going to go to once we've actually found an apartment and settled in, where you can feed kangaroos and get like really close to them. And me being a wildlife artist, I feel like that's good for me to get like reference photos and yeah, just see them up close. There's somewhere in St Kilda, which again is near Melbourne, where you can watch the penguins come back from the sea and kind of go back to their homes on the beach. You've also heard that Phillip Beach, Noosa and Townsville are all worth visiting as well. I'm not sure if we're going to do Perth because it's so far away again. It's like another quite long flight, but I don't know, we're going to try and be spontaneous. So anyone who's ever been to Australia or from Australia and have any recommendations as to where to travel to, what beaches to see, what wildlife sanctuaries to go to, anything like that, please let me know. And probably the main question that I've got asked, being an artist and travelling for pretty much a year, is have I brought all my work with me? And obviously I can't bring all of my work with me, but I have a few commissions to complete before Christmas, so I've brought those with me. I've brought paper that I've kind of cut down. I've brought my pencils, a photography softbox tripod light, which I didn't bring the bulb for because obviously it's glass. I actually got a bulb for that the other day from a shop and it works fine, it's still really bright. I've got my desktop tripod, my big sturdy tripod and my microphone. So I literally just bubble wrapped everything up, put it in one case. I had like one case that was just dedicated to my art stuff, and I kind of wrap things up in like my jackets, and I brought a few jumpers as well because Melbourne's supposed to be like 4 seasons in a day, which we've already seen. Like 1 minute it's chucking it down, the next minute it's full sun and boiling. So I kind of brought a range of clothes, so I kind of wrapped my art stuff in that. And luckily everything arrived undamaged and absolutely fine. I'm so glad that the 2 cases that got stuck in Abu Dhabi weren't the case with all of my art stuff in, because I wouldn't have been able to work the day after or the day after that, because we only got them like 3 days after. But yeah, that is the update. I hope you enjoy the rest of my vlogs. Hopefully they're going to be a bit more frequent. I feel like once we've settled in, I can actually start booking things and going to places and travelling around a bit, so it won't just be me constantly in this Airbnb. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up to date with the Australian vlogs, and yeah, I will be back very soon with the next one.